Yeah, you know, airplanes aren't the only thing that are in the air out here at LAX, Amrith. We were in Terminal 1 earlier today, and you would just hear a cough there, a sneeze here, and then you would look over and wonder, why are they not wearing one of these little things, right? A mask that we've come to learn to use to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Now, get this, last summer in LA County, the COVID spike actually peaked in late August. Thousands of drivers depend on this section of the 10 freeway to get in and out of downtown LA. Among them are truckers who deliver goods to all around the city. Many experts we spoke with say these are the unintended consequences that always come with a wage increase. And Assembly Bill 1228 that was signed into law in September impacts nearly 30,000 fast food restaurants in California. Just to get a better idea of how concerned these residents are, just log on to one of the social media neighborhood groups for Leimert Park or even the Nextdoor app, where residents are constantly posting these coyote sightings. Definitely exciting to be here. If you are not out here, it's definitely one of the experiences that you have to you can only get while being out here in person. Now, that officially marks the start of the Tournament of Roses parade. Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour has already gained the honor of being the highest grossing tour of any black female artist. Some optimistic forecasts are showing that she might even surpass Taylor Swift's Eras tour by around $500 million. Among their concerns, flooding, the mudslides that could potentially happen as well. Now, forecasters are reporting that the Santa Monica Mountains, which is where Topanga Canyon is actually at, is receiving about a quarter of an inch of rain per hour. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, retail thefts are increasing here in the city of Los Angeles. And these large groups are often targeting specific malls that sell high-end merchandise. And it's not only an issue that's affecting those big retailers, but also business owners and workers who fear every single day if they'll be hurt while on the job. Well, meantime, Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer said the announcement of the regional task force did encourage him despite what he called lax policies championed by elected officials like Mayor Bass and LADA George Gascon. Well, the LA County Department of Public Health is responding to a sharp rise in opioid overdose deaths among Latinos by teaming up with consulates for Spanish-speaking nations. Public health educators come into the consulates and educate and distribute Narcan, the nasal spray that reverses opioid overdoses, while people wait for passports and ID cards. We are in front of the Infinity Fountain, just directly behind this grassy area where a lot of those pro-Palestinian protesters still remain. I'm going to have my Talk Mac pan over real quick. We are right behind this police line where they are still waiting for those commands. The noise of chanting protesters has now been replaced by the noise of power washers. Take a look right behind me. These are crews that have mobilized now into the area where that encampment once stood, cleaning up any indication that there was once a protest and encampment on this side. Take a look at the images from last night. These are scenes from the UC Irvine campus just hours before a weeks-long pro-Palestinian protest demanding the university's divestment from Israel over the Hamas war came to an end. According to a university spokesperson, it was around 2:30 on Wednesday that protesters blocked the entrance to the Physical Sciences building in an apparent occupation of the building, prompting campus police to request aid from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Irvine Police, and several other neighboring agencies. Students like Ellie, who is a third-year civil engineering major at UC Irvine, came out to not only push the university to divest, but to show her disagreement with a recent move by the White House to sell $1 billion in weapons to Israel. She's also here to show solidarity with protesting students who received suspension notices from the university earlier in the week.
Someone I know was actually suspended. I think that for a lot of people, it's that is something that a lot of people feel very strongly about morally.
As a multitude of police and sheriff's deputies descended on the campus, the dismantling of an encampment similar to those at campuses around the country began. Ellie and several students continue to chant, demanding a peaceful protest, a protest that for her is a sign of support for Palestinian students.
Especially with the fact that there are no universities left in Gaza, we need to stand in solidarity with those people.
As the hours-long standoff between officers and protesters continued, police began to move in. A arrests began, protesters who were arrested made it known as they were being led away that they had done nothing wrong and were involved in a peaceful protest.
I'm not resisting.
As the late evening arrived, law enforcement pushed the hundreds of protesters out of the encampment site and into UCI's Aldrich Park as cleanup crews began to pick up what was left of the once standing encampment, bringing an end to a weeks-long peaceful protest where many students and protesters gathered in hopes of change. Well, summer might be over, but hot labor summer is definitely not today. Fast food workers are the ones celebrating a huge victory because of that signature that Governor Newsom provided. Now, that same signature represents the influence and the power that labor unions have here in California.
We told them, yes, we
For the past 3 years, working the kitchen of a Jack in the Box restaurant is how Anisha Williams provides for her 6 kids. But the $17 an hour that she earns is not enough to make ends meet.
In the odds between am I going to get put out or what's going to happen, I have to rely on government assistance as well.
Governor Gavin Newsom signed into law Thursday a bill that increases fast food worker wages to at least $20 an hour.
We saw the inequities in terms of the wages and the treatment, and we realized we had a responsibility.
Numbers by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show that California's fast food workers earn an average of $16.60 per hour. The wage increase gives Anisha some hope of financial peace of mind.
It will help me save money when I'm not able to. I have nothing in those savings. I don't even have a bank account.
The move also settles a battle between labor and business groups over how to regulate California's fast food industry. Jeff Hanscom is with the International Franchise Association, one of the few groups who work with labor groups to reach a resolution.
We certainly see this deal as, the best possible outcome for workers, for local restaurant owners.
According to the UC Berkeley Center for Labor Research and Education, when the law takes effect on April 1st, 2024, fast food workers like Anisha will have among the highest minimum wages in the nation. The law also creates a fast food council that has the power to increase fast food worker wages every year through 2029 by 3.5%.
Starting April 24, will costs go up? That's certainly a possibility, right? I mean, the cost has to go somewhere, right? It's an inevitability.
Despite all the effort and negotiations, Anisha feels like it took a little bit of magic to make all of this happen.
I feel like Tinkerbell just and, did some magical little something, that's what it felt like.
Anisha says she feels relief as she attempts to provide for her family in one of the most expensive cities in the country. 3 years ago, the city of Downey voted to fly the rainbow-colored Pride Progress flag over city buildings. For Downey's first openly gay mayor, Mario Trujillo, this was a symbol that people like him are welcome and supported in a city like Downey.
When the flag rose in the highest building of this city, if you will, City Hall, it meant something. It meant that Downey was a leader. We were the first city in Southeast LA to raise the flag.
Earlier in May, the Downey City Council voted 3-2 to approve a neutral flag policy, which limits flags like the Pride flag to be displayed on Downey-owned and maintained property. The flying of the Pride flags are designed to celebrate diversity and inclusion for the LGBTQ+ community. The flag has been met with controversy and restrictions around Southern California.
These council members are out of touch with the community. This was progress, and now they've set us back.
We reached out to Downey City officials who voted in favor of the neutral flag policy. Only Mayor Pro Tem Hector Sosa and Councilmember Claudia Frometa responded, but declined to comment. After Downey's flag policy adoption, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, who represents the district that Downey is in, announced the raising of pride flags at 8 county-owned properties in the area.
I would think in 2024 that we would not be having the issues about whether or not government can fly the pride flag as a symbol that everyone is welcome.
The flying is allowed at the County Office of Education in Downey because it's a county facility and therefore does not fall under the City of Downey jurisdiction.
Yeah.
But Southeast LA resident Martin Paul Adams disagrees with the move and expressed it during Monday's ceremony.
It disrupts, it destroys the families. And we're not, like I said, if they want to live that way, that's their choice. But don't impose it upon society.
Mayor Trujillo says this is a call to continue to fight for Downey's LGBTQ community.
It just means that we have more work to do, and it's a wake-up call. We have more work to do.
Amid pushback and controversy, the pride flag continues to fly high in Southeast LA, serving as a beacon of hope and inclusion for the LGBTQ+ community.